regard for Manchester United football. The media haven't covered this. If you don't get him, and let's just let's get humble. If you don't get there, are you concerned about that back line? Can you win the league with that back line?
I think with a performing Canate and the two fullbacks bedding in and Gravenberch in front of them, yes. My worry is with Canate, he's had spells of in and out of form previously. Now it's pretty clear his head is in Spain from next season. So it's whether he goes now or whether he goes next season. I wouldn't want to take the risk that he is a mainstay of that defence for the season. I would be worried about that.
Yeah. And Liverpool before, right?
So a final question on that point for you, Matt. Wonderful, if you like. You're a Palace fan. It didn't get much better last season, does it? You win the FA Cup, and then they followed that up. I know with the Charity Shield, but for a club that where it's so difficult to break through into those top teams, how damaging is it for them this year to lose potentially Eze and Guehi in one dimension? I mean, it's unquestionable, really. They're two players, and I guess my other second point to ask you, Matt, is it's all very well that they get 70 million, and I don't know what they're talking about paying for Guehi. I have no idea. How much?
About 30 to 35.
No, not a chance. They'll get 120 million for those two players, 100 million maybe, 110 maybe. But anyway, what do they do with that? What do you do with 110 million if you're not a top four club? Because how are they ever going to attract? What was the kid that went to Bayern Munich last year? Another great player that played in their midfield. They've lost arguably three fantastic. Yeah, Eze. Fantastic players. Matt, what does this mean if you're a Palace fan? You'd be gutted, right?
Absolutely, because they've won a cup for the first time in God knows how many years. They've got into Europe, I believe, for the first time. Last night, I think, was their first ever European game. And you expect.
I think they've had one other in like the Fairs Cup or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you're a club, and this is no offence to the likes of Brentford or Palace or the Brightons and Bournemouths, you've got a mustard player on your hands. That one of the so-called big clubs are going to come calling. They're going to come buy your players. It happens, right? And it must be hurtful. You get a great player, they get sold on for a profit for the club, which is great for the club, but not so great for the supporters. Right. But when you've achieved what Palace have achieved last season, gotten into Europe, and you're still losing your best players, and at this moment in time, there's no replacements. Now they've done well. They obviously do well with bringing players through or getting youngsters from other clubs, because obviously Eze is originally from Arsenal, so they're experienced in getting those sort of players through the system and getting them into the team. But for a team that's succeeded, got into Europe, and they're still losing their better players, it's just it's hard. I imagine it's heart wrenching for the supporters of Palace right now.
It's disappointing, I'm sure, but if you look at it, I suppose the Eze move to Arsenal, maybe Arsenal are hoping he's bringing his winning mentality with him, given they've won 2 trophies in many, many years, and Arsenal haven't won anything in, what is it, 6 now? 6, yeah. FA Cup 6 years ago.
Regard for Manchester United football. The media haven't covered this.